know you don't love me. I know you don't love me. You ain't the same when Jay-Z's around.
Yep. What's up? All right, welcome to episode 1 of the Bodcast. That's right, man. I'm flipping it. Or actually, it's my brother's idea. He flipped the word podcast, said Bodcast. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea. So we're just gonna let this music, nice old school little G unit, fade it out. Memories. So so just to discuss our station sponsors first and foremost. I am the sole sponsor of this podcast for sure. It's my own. I just started it, and the podcast is brought to you by Warrior Landscaping. One of the best landscaping companies in Mississauga, up and coming for sure. Providing you guys with the best service, some of the best prices, and just really hands-on and friendly landscaping service for your house, your property, or anything you want to really get landscaped. So thanks to Warrior Landscaping. And our second sponsor, we just got them today. It's actually myself as well. It's Tim's Gym. So Tim's Gym is a boxing gym that is actually being opened in January, in the new year, and yours truly in the basement. So I cleaned up the whole basement. It's unfinished. It's probably gonna be 1,500 square feet since everything's been cleaned out. And I have my heavy bag and I have a lot of equipment coming in. So what I'm gonna be doing is obviously setting up some services and providing you guys with some of the best knowledge I have of boxing and my experiences, and just making getting people healthy and fit for for a fair price for sure. And so that's our sponsors for sure. So thank you to my own businesses for sure. I'm sitting in my truck right now, dropping some knowledge. People probably think I'm a psycho, but I do not give a fuck, because I've been thinking about doing a podcast for a long time. Because Joe Rogan's podcast has really introduced me to this new way of contact and media. So a couple notable podcasts for you guys to check out, other than the Bodcast, you know what I'm saying, is Joe Rogan Experience for sure, one of the best podcasts in the world. It's ridiculously sweet. You should definitely check out Rob Wolf. He has the Paleo Solution podcast, so he speaks about the paleo diet and how it could really affect your health and really do a lot of good things for you. And we see this now a lot in nutrition. Actually, we're kind of returning to our roots with respect to how we're eating. And we find that when we eat, how our ancestral bodies, what they're meant for, with respect to nutrition, we find that we can actually improve our health drastically and avoid a ton of chemicals and preservatives that the motherfuckers are putting in our food today. So Rob Wolf's another great podcast to check out. It's called The Paleo Solution. Also, Rich Roll has a really good podcast with nutrition. I haven't researched much into him, but I know that his podcast is very popular on iTunes. It's in the top 10. And definitely for music, the Going Quantum podcast has to be the best in my opinion. Drum and bass, dubstep, electro, trap, all the biggest electronic genres right now, and they're just killing it. They have a new episode almost every day, and it's some of the best electronic music out there, I would say. It just, for the gym especially, man, this is a point I try to get across to a lot of people. Your music selection does play a big role in how hard you can train and how you feel. So definitely give them a look. Quantum Podcast. And I love trance, man. I'm a trance dude for sure. And Future Sounds of Egypt with Ali and Fia, I would say is the best trance podcast out there, simply because I've listened to everyone else's Above and Beyond, Armin van Buuren, and Ali and Fia is straight trance. There's not a lot of talking at all, and they have some really good tunes. So that's my little recap of what podcasts I enjoy. So let's get to the main dish, if you will, of what the Bodcast is. So as you probably guessed already, it's a podcast based around training, nutrition, exercise, and the whole spectrum of why exercise is so vital to us as human beings and what we can really learn from it, not just physically, but how we can open our mental, spiritual, and emotional dimensions, to new levels through physical exercise. And this is what I'm trying to stress, because it's happened in my own life, and I've experienced it in this sort of fashion. And I want to share it with everyone. And of course, this podcast is also meant to advertise for, not just myself and my business ventures and what I'm interested in for, but I'd love to have, as many guests as I could on this podcast with respects to people in the health industry, people who are, working towards helping people and really trying to separate themselves as their own business, individuals. So, whether you're doing, whether you're a personal trainer or a nutritionist, or, you're studying, pharmacology, or you're studying to be a physician, or chiropractic care, physiotherapy, diet counseling, kinesiology. My goal is to get all of you guys on here so we can just talk about, new research done in the field, We can discuss what your, experiences are, what your business ventures are, who you work for, your experiences with your company, and really just kind of, advertise and network with each other. So this is really, podcasts, they have to be the best way to kind of discuss and bring information to people at the fastest time, because literally the internet, makes that possible, and they're free, which is great. So, you got to drink that agua. 3.5 liters per day, please, guys. Water is, it's the shiznit. You need it. So, let's just get started with myself, my biography quickly. Obviously, you guys know me. If you don't know me, my name is Tim Oliver. I became obsessed with training and exercise probably in high school, but out of high school as well. I was always an active dude. I played red baseball as a kid. Played, competition basketball. Been boxing since I was 13, kind of on my own recreationally. I've always loved kind of utilize my body to express myself, whether it be rinsing out at the raves, that's a great workout too, or boxing, or like just every sport I love except for soccer. I have no fucking coordination in my legs, but I'll play goalie, But football, everything. I love sports. So high school education classes kind of got me into the weight room. Mr. Hunt, what up? Gentlemen. Mr. Hunt was, he kind of got us into, whatever, like, weight training and whatnot, strength training. But then out of high school, and after high school, I really took the gym more seriously, and I kind of, because once you start seeing progress, I think that's the biggest thing in motivating yourself to stay within the health industry. So I just want to make sure, we're still recording. So yeah, I saw progress within my own body, and I loved it, and I loved how I felt, and the confidence obviously went up for sure. You get a lot of ego, so you have to be very careful with, with developing your physical body. Your ego grows definitely with that. And of course, my ego is huge, and I'm really working on myself to kind of bring it down a bit. Because it's hard, man, when you feel like you look so good, or you feel like you can perform at a high level in the gym. Well, it's tough to balance that, but that's where, leveling yourself out, leaving your ego in the locker room is a big thing. So definitely some things to help with that are, I would say meditation, yoga, they really ground you and humble you, and, there's so many different things you can do, But yeah, so I became a personal trainer 2 years ago. I got certified before I'd taken off to Australia for a year of traveling. I have my CanFit Pro Specialist PT certificate, which by a lot of standards is nothing super special. A lot of people have this certificate, but still under Canada's, certification, this is probably one of the most basic and one of the most well-recognized certificates. So I'm happy to have that. So I did that course, aced it, and now I'm working at Good Life. So Good Life's a really good gym, one of the top 50 best managed companies in Canada. They're actually the largest gym chain in Canada. Largest gym chain in Canada. They're a really good company. So I'm working for them right now. Still learning the ropes. I've only been there for a month, but my training background obviously is well known, and I'm definitely looking forward to expanding my horizons, whether it be with new certificates or really just learning how I can actually help people the most when it comes to health and wellness. Because I feel that with today's health and wellness, you can call them tactics or the media's sort of influence on us on how to stay healthy. There's so many things that are constantly hitting us and bombarding us, and I think it's as simple as literally health and nutrition are the age-old basic needs of the human body. And I don't care if you're looking at, Channel 32 on Saturday mornings, you're going to see infomercials for the Bowflex, for these new diets, for, 5-minute scorching fucking abs, get, a ripped six-pack in just 5 minutes a day. And Tybo, man, I remember my mom, she bought the VHS tapes of Tybo. She dropped $100 right away, and this was before the internet, so she called up, bought them off the shopping network. I did one with her when I was like 10, and it was so intense right off the bat, so those just sat on the shelf after our first workout and collected dust. So, there's so many things right now in really the exercise, fitness, and nutrition industry that are really, there's so many different branches that you can go for, but, if you take a look at results and research and if you use your basic common sense, man, it's not fucking hard to tell that if you just consistently do the basic things your body requires, you're going to just develop and maintain your health. And without health, obviously we have nothing, right? You can be rich as shit, but if you're like Stephen Hawking, one of these motherfuckers who can't really, he's not to say he doesn't have a good life, but if you don't have your health, obviously you're fucked, man. You're not going to have a good life. Think about when you have an injury. For those of you who are healthy already, when you get an injury, think about how depressing that is, I've had several injuries, whether it's my ankle, I fucked in basketball, or my lower back, I messed up doing deadlifts, or my shoulder, my rotator cuff. I don't know which small individual muscle I tore, but I fucked it up doing an incline bench. And I know personally that I'm so depressed when I injure myself because not only I can't do what I love, which is train, but everything is harder, like lifting things, bending, getting out of bed. Our basic, movements are hindered by our injuries. So what I'm trying to get at is think about, somebody who's unfit. So if you're unfit out there and you're carrying extra weight, or if you're weak, you don't have the strength required to do certain tasks, which are fairly basic in my opinion, your life already, you're suffering. And you don't realize this because, hang on for one sec. You don't realize that you're suffering because you've never had that feeling of being stronger or fitter or, managing a correct weight. So, I mean, once you actually get to that level of, just a slight improvement, just a 10% improvement in your strength or speed, or you lost 10 pounds, or your blood pressure dropped, or your resting heart rate has dropped, you've dropped bad cholesterol, whether you take away or add to your body, if you take away the negatives or add positives to your body, you definitely, it's just research that all other areas of your life can be improved. I mean, there's a direct link with our mind and our body. That's indistinguishable. If your body feels good, your mind is already going to feel better because you don't have to think about, tight muscles or hurting your lower back, or how am I going to feel today, or am I strong enough to really do this, or why do I run out of breath when I'm fucking walking up the stairs. So we know that obviously if we feel good with our bodies, our minds are already at ease. There's so many links to reducing mental distress, whether it be depression or anxiety or so many. Those are the two biggest for sure in North America. So we know that exercise has direct correlation to reducing these symptoms and really, restoring the healthy, positive body image that we all deserve as human beings, right? I mean, there's so many extremes with body composition and what we should look like for women and for men. As being a man, obviously, I know that every man wants to be more muscular and more, stronger looking, and we just want to be that alpha male that we see on television, or we always have one of those friends who's an alpha male, and I mean I use those for motivation for sure to develop my own body image for sure. But I mean it gets to an extreme where people take steroids. I mean for me, anyone who takes steroids, it's kind of, you've been misled by the media for sure, whether it's magazines or fucking the ridiculous supplement ads that are eye-catching for sure. But I mean, with men and steroids, that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. I mean, I'm not to say you shouldn't do them if you're competing in bodybuilding, or if you're doing it obviously in a controlled, research way with a professional, whether it's a professional dietitian or professional bodybuilder who's done it before. That would be in my own opinion, the only case where steroid use would be okay. Even then I wouldn't even approve of it. But for women, we have body image for sure. I mean, and women, you guys, your emotions are so much more controlling than men. Men are more based off testosterone and reaction and our adrenaline, so women are more analytical. You guys are more in touch with your emotions, and you're affected a lot more by the media, which is understandable, from the magazine ads, from having that perfect shape, from these fucking ugly models who are so skinny, it's ridiculous. But it definitely has an effect on women. And I mean, both men and women can develop body dysmorphic disorders, or just anorexia or bulimia. So we know that, or it's understood, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and I have my own clients who kind of, they have a poor body image, and even I still struggle with, everyone struggles with body image, but there's a direct correlation for sure with exercise, living more of a healthy lifestyle, and how good you feel about yourself. So it's my mission, as a PT, as a trainer, and as somebody who loves kind of, the whole healthy style of living, to kind of, share just the basic information of what you need to know when you're joining a new gym, whether you're starting a new exercise routine, if this is a good idea for a diet, just basic facts about nutrition and training, because that's what we all need to know. We don't need to know how to be advanced. For the majority of us, we don't need to know how to be advanced Olympic athletes or elite level training, athletes, or elite level dieters or bodybuilders. For the most part of our society, especially in Canada and the United States, we just want to make sure that we're healthy, we live longer than than the generations before us, and that we actually get benefit and have happiness. Because if your body's if your body's healthy and you're feeling good, your happiness will already be higher than the other person who's out of shape, who has to try harder and work harder to perform the same feats or the same activities. So I've never been out of shape with respect to being obese. I've been, as a teenager, I was very scrawny. I shot up like fucking 10 inches in a year. I was weak, but then I started developing my strength and my conditioning, and right now I'm probably in the best shape of my life, which makes me so happy, because training, it's kind of a weird thing. The more in shape you are, the harder you have to push yourself. So it's like, I guess you would say, a give-take type scenario. So I love it. I love the way I feel and I love the way I can perform. But, my training is fucking hard. And I hate, especially leg days. Like, I had a leg day today and it sucks. But I know when I finish it, it's going to feel a lot better. So definitely, things like that become, fun for sure. I love it. And I know everyone's not going to love training. A lot of people hate it. And I understand that. It sucks. Working out sometimes sucks. But if you can slowly develop, a habit, they say it takes 22 days to develop a habit. If you can slowly develop a healthy habit of, maybe just even eating better or eating less junk food or getting, some moderate exercise every day. Not only will you feel better from a physical standpoint, but you're going to be getting that fresh air. You're going to be releasing endorphins. You're definitely going to be increasing, your serotonin release reservoirs. You're just going to be giving your body not what our body diseases, but what our body needs, man. Our bodies were meant to move. We're fucking hunters and gatherers, but we're in an advanced society. We're hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, but if you look at the basics of our physiology, we've changed very little, except for our brains doubling in mass. But with respect to our bodies, we need to be running, we need to be sweating, we need to be increasing our oxygen uptake, we need to be feeding our body with important fuel, or else we're just going to wither away and fucking have a less than average life. Our lifespans are going to be short. We're not going to be able to achieve things that, we could achieve if we were healthier, fitter, stronger, faster, have more stamina. So, if you look at the human body as just really, our mechanism for how our consciousness is carried throughout this life, you have to feel good and be healthy to experience really everything in this life that, that has to be offered. So it's a beautiful thing to be in shape and to feel good about it. Not to be cocky about it, not to put people down who are out of shape. That's not the right thing. The right thing is to really inform people and show them that it's not a scary thing. The gym, I know it's very intimidating for some people, and of course it is. There's a lot of ego in the gym. There's a lot of people who are struggling with their image, but especially where I work in my good life, and especially in my goal later on to have my own gym, what I'm trying to do is really make the gym a lot more social, whether it be classes are a big thing for sure, but more interactive, more community events, so everyone feels welcome. And when you have a social a social setting in the gym, when you know people who are working out, you want to work out. And that kind of brings me to why training with a personal trainer can really change your outlook on health and fitness. So again, sorry guys, I need some more water up in this bitch. But let's talk about personal training for a minute. For sure we're going to talk about it. I'm a trainer. I'm promoting myself as a trainer. I want to get my name out there. But let's talk about, there's so many myths. There's so many fictitious things about training. There's so many facts about training that, everyone needs to know. Is personal training for everybody? Absolutely not. Who is personal training for? Well, I would say it's for anybody, male or female, as young as, in your teens. It's for anybody who really wants to kind of increase their health, increase their, attitude towards life, and really, take charge of their well-being. So we know, like I discussed earlier, your nutrition and training, just working out and exercising, increasing your nutritional uptake, and just improving your diet, that has such good effects for our body. So as a personal trainer, what I try to, get across to people is that it's not hard to get into the habit of coming to the gym every day. It may be hard. It's harder on your own, definitely. But if you have a trainer, not only do you have a financial commitment, you're paying thousands of dollars to be a part of a professional service, for a year, but you also have a commitment to yourself, and you have a coach who's motivating you consistently. And it's not just somebody who tells you over the phone, your workout today is going to be A, B, and C. It's somebody who's with you 100% of the way, pushing you, answering your questions, developing a mutual fun relationship where you become not only friends, but you become equals with respects to learning from each other. So having a personal trainer can do so many things for you, definitely. Not just what we can do for your body or what we can do for your health, but what we can do for your overall relationship. Think about when you develop a new relationship with somebody you wouldn't expect to, and think about actually this relationship now is improving your health. It's improving your fitness. It's improving your happiness. It's improving your social skills. It's improving the way you feel about yourself. It's improving your confidence. It's improving your self-esteem. It's making you feel better because, this and that. There's so many things that working out and, again, eating healthy can do for you. When you combine that with somebody who is a professional in this industry, you can really just benefit so much quicker than people who really don't train with somebody right off the bat. So a lot of people develop the habit of getting into a gym, which is, I know stepping through the front door of a gym can be nerve-wracking and scary, but they'll sign up to a gym, they'll have no direction and really no understanding of what they're getting into. So that's why we see, and I think it's like 80% of people quit within the first 8 weeks if they don't have a proper walkthrough or a proper training program with, not a trainer essentially, but with anybody. So so what I'm trying to say is, if you join the gym and you really don't have any direction, you've never been in this scenario before, you don't really have anyone to work out with, you're most likely going to quit after 8 weeks, because you're going to feel like shit. You're not going to be able to see the improvements. You're not going to get the whole grasp of the lifestyle that you have to actually adjust to. You're going to think that, oh, I'm not getting fit quick, I'm not getting strong quick, what the fuck, why am I here? This is bullshit. Why don't I look like him? Why don't I look like her? Why haven't I lost weight? So this is why we see so many people quit the gym before they even start. And, a lot of the times they'll have such a bad experience that it'll actually, trigger those negative emotions. So whenever it comes up again in the future, they're going to say no, I'm not going back there. So this is one of the reasons why training is important, and why having a personal trainer right off the bat is going to instill within you, not only the motivation to kind of, reach your goals, but the relationship to see somebody when you get to the gym, to have that positive reinforcement. I had a personal trainer myself, man. He was a great trainer. I'm not going to mention his name just yet, because I'm not sure if he should be okay with this, but I won't mention his name. But I trained with him, and it was amazing. We went through a really tough diet. I did an extreme ketosis diet, and after my training was done with him, after I said, I'm good for now, I actually thought about doing this for myself, for a career, because I realized, you get a lot of energy from somebody when you're changing their life slowly but surely, whether it's, teaching somebody, training somebody, helping somebody, whether, like the service, serving other humans is obviously you get a lot of love from that, a lot of energy. So, I've had so many jobs in my life, but I like training so much because there's a human aspect of that. And with a lot of things, with technology advancing, we're losing that social aspect, especially in our workforce. So definitely working in positive environments has an effect on you. And Good Life, man, that gym that I work at, that's probably one of the most positive gyms I've been at. I've been a part of a lot of gyms throughout my 10 years of being in this fitness lifestyle. So started off at community centers, which are great. For older people or people who live close, they're convenient, but they can be expensive. They're relatively small. Their equipment's most likely out of date, and it depends what you want out of it. But I've been a part of River Grove Community Center for quite some time. Not to hate on River Grove, what my boys and all my girls from River Grove, but it's good to start with, but it doesn't give you what you really need if you want to really adjust your life. So I've been a part of community centers. I've been a part of big box gyms. I've been in gyms in Australia. I've been a part of Fitness First in Australia. It was a really good experience. Expensive though, over $100 a month. I've been a part of, I used to work for One Fitness, a great gym again, but they're relatively small, so they can't offer you the amount of attention or service, because they just, case in point, they don't have the money to really branch out. So I think they have 8 clubs in Canada. I think they're growing pretty well, but I'm still a part of LA Fitness. I like LA Fitness because they have heavy bags there. So I love boxing, and I box a lot at fucking LA because there's no heavy bags. If you join an MMA gym or boxing gym, which I'm going to do, I'm joining Hub's boxing gym in the new year, but they're expensive, right? They're $100 plus an hour or plus a month, so you're paying a lot of money for those gyms. So this brings me to Good Life, where I'm working at now. So of course I know my opinion is going to be biased, and I'm going to tell you about how good Life is. But I'm going to tell you straight up that it's been a good experience so far. Everyone's very super friendly. It's very professional. The founder and CEO Patch is he's a multi-millionaire. He's a very accomplished businessman, CEO, individual. I suggest you guys check out his story, because it's pretty inspiring about what he went through to kind of make his decision to get into the fitness industry. So Good Life has, they're based on a lot of wicked principles, a lot of really positive reinforcement, and we're catered more towards the average individual. We're not catered towards super athletes or super bodybuilders or, motherfucking juice heads, but we're catered more to the average person who's looking to improve their health and fitness for obviously the myriad of benefits. Whether you want to lose weight, get stronger, and compete in certain competitions, run marathons, look better, build up your body. We cater to a lot of those services. And, Good Life's just a massive gym chain. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been a part of Good Life. And, of course, like every other gym, they have their issues. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say they're the best gym in the world because of this, and that. I'm going to tell you from my personal experience, I can say so far that they're probably the best gym I've been a part of. The Dairy and Mill Creek location, which I work at, they've just been renovated. So it's a very nice layout. It's a very big gym. Really good classes, really good staff. All the people I work with, we're all friggin' friendly people. We're all really cool people. You'll feel at home. There's such a different social setting There's older people, there's younger people, there's middle-aged people, there's I mean the women to rate, there's more women than men. I think it's 60-40 right now. There's a women-only section. I mean we have TRX classes. We have so many different things going on, so it's a really good club to kind of check out. I mean, just check it out, see if it fits for you. You get like free workouts, probably I think you get a free 3-day pass. And I can definitely, if you ever come into the Dairy and Mill Creek Good Life and you ask for me, I can definitely give you, a few free workouts, put you through a personal health assessment, so kind of show you how we get started on building really a better life for you with respect to your body and your health. So come on, come on, Dad, a good life. It's all good, baby. It's weird when you advertise for yourself. It's kind of you can feel your ego rising up, but I mean, this is my business for sure, and I'm really dedicated to not just making money, but I'm really dedicated to serving people. I think if you're the type of person who likes working with people and serving people, you're gonna be successful no matter what. I mean, the money will come. A lot of trainers actually quit within their first few months of working because you're working off commission, right? And you have to make those sales, and you have to actually hustle really hard. So it's gonna be difficult for me within the first. I mean, this is my first month just ending now. So I mean, January is a very good month for gyms. For the whole, for a lot of businesses, but especially the health industry, because a lot of people come off, a big Christmas, and they have new goals and new ambitions. Like, why is it January? Why not every month? People should have like goals like nonstop. So, but I'm not hating, man. January, it's gonna be a great month, so that's a good start. But a lot of trainers do quit within their first few months because the money's not there. It's tough. They don't like hearing no. They don't like getting turned down. But if you can really accept the fact that you're not gonna make a ton of dough at first, but stick with it. Like you should with any career you do choose. If you stick with anything, you can be successful. It doesn't matter what career you're in. As long as you're successful and willing to go the extra mile and do what other people aren't willing to do, willing to, step out of your comfort zone consistently. If you can develop those habits, I guarantee you're going to be successful. So I know I'm going to be successful within the health and fitness industry. I know I'm already a successful person. I have my landscaping business that's growing. I'm getting into opening up my own gym. I'm looking at networking, marketing companies. So that's a really great thing for sure. So Good Life, just to sum up the Good Life thing, I really do enjoy our environment at the Dairy and Mill Creek location, and just come check us out, man. There's no pressure right away. There's no pressure at all. You can have free workouts. You can pick our brains. You can ask us questions about everything. We're here to help you because Good Life's built on service, and we're not just a gym that wants to make money and kind of sign people up and just leave you guys there. We're here to serve you. Our company is the best company in Canada for within the gym chain company because we serve our clients the best. We have the best service bar none. And you can ask everyone, and I'm sure their opinions may be biased, but you'll find out sooner or later that Good Life thrives on its service for our clients. So if you don't have clients, you don't have a business. So that's why Good Life has been one of the most successful companies in the gym industry in the world. You can look that up. That's motherfucking fact. Everything I say is fact, but I want you guys to believe me, man. Google that shit. Google it all. Okay, quickly, I'm just gonna give you guys 10 quick exercise tips because we're running half an hour. I'm not too sure how long this is gonna go, but here's 10 quick tips that exercise and fitness will improve for you. Okay, so number one, exercise boosts brain power. So we already know this. We know that when you begin exercise, you're gonna feel an increase in happiness, a decrease in depression. Your endorphins will be released more steadily. So those are actually good feeling hormones. So nature has put in good feeling hormones into our bodies to tell us that exercise, yes, keep doing this. This is good for me. Keep it going. And also we see a direct relationship to serotonin being increased within the brain. So that's a neurotransmitter that controls our happiness and really our mood balance. So exercise research shows that exercise increases the serotonin and actually a bunch of other neurotransmitters in our brain. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons to start exercising, man. Boost your motherfucking brain power, baby. Number two, it destroys stress, man. So you're stressed out from work, you're sitting at an office desk all day in a cubicle, or your stress at home is high. What better way to really take your stress down than to put your body and mind through a physical 1 hour workout session, whether it be sports, whether it be just fitness in general, like a fitness exercise, doing some cardio, going for a run, hitting the weights, doing a class. So we know that exercise right away destroys stress. It lowers your cortisol levels. It increases your good feeling hormones, and actually it has an extended period of release. So you're feeling good hours and hours and after your workout. And it makes you sleep better. So if you have sleep problems, man, you fucking come for a workout with me or any trainer or anybody who really knows what they're doing, you're going to sleep a lot better that night, for sure. Number three, Boost your energy. So a lot of people say, you know, I don't have the time or energy to exercise. I feel drained after exercising. That's most likely number one because you're not doing it right. We know that exercise increases our energy. How does it do this? Well, it allows us to develop stronger everything. So your cardiovascular system begins to improve. So what does this mean? You don't have to work as hard. Your heart does not have to work as hard. Your lungs don't have to take in as much oxygen to perform the same activities. What that means is you're more productive in everyday life, whether it's, you know, driving to work, picking up your kids, you know, going to see your girlfriend, whatever you're doing physical, going to see your boyfriend, whatever task you're doing, you're already working less because you've improved your fitness. So that's how it kind of boosts your energy. It also boosts, you know, everything within your brain. I mean, it boosts all of your neurotransmitters. It increases your synapse firing rate. It increases your metabolic rate. So the way you digest food, all the chemical reactions within your body are increased. So let me grab some water quickly because, you know, hydration is key. That Montclair water, straight from the Antarctica. Get it fresh, get it Canadian. Okay, so let's talk about number 4. You become more time efficient. So a lot of people say, this is the number one thing I hear in the gyms, I don't have time to work out. But once you begin to work out and exercise on a consistent basis, you're going to realize that you become more efficient with your time. So what this means is, if you can devote 1 hour a day to exercise, you're actually going to use those other 10 to 12 hours a year awake more efficiently. You'll have more energy, you'll be less stressed, you'll be able to think clearly, more clear, you'll be able to, you know, get tasks done more, everything's going to flow more easily. So we know that for sure. We know that you become more time efficient. An example is like Barack Obama. Like, you know, I don't like you, Obama, like whatever, we have our beef because you're in the fucking Illuminati and all that bullshit, but I do know that people say you exercise half an hour before your day starts, and you're probably one of the most busiest men on earth, whether or not you're doing good or bad shit. But if Barack Obama, if he could exercise every day, I mean, you can too. Trust me, he's got one of the toughest jobs in the world. Who the fuck would want to be United States president anyways? But if that dude can exercise, he definitely knows it makes him more time efficient. So, key. So number 5, social relationships. So a lot of people get into the habit of doing a 9-to-5 job, you know, having a girlfriend or boyfriend, having a few friends, and that's it. Their social circles are relatively small. Joining a gym is a surefire way to meet new people, for one, and everyone's in the same type of experience. Everyone's trying to improve. So it's a very positive reinforcement, for sure. I mean, even going with a trainer, for sure, definitely develops a strong new relationship with somebody you never would have thought you'd had a relationship with. You start to make friends at the gym. You go to the gym with your friends. You guys integrate into other social circles. So definitely has a positive effect on your social confidence. And once your body starts improving your own mind and you start to feel better, you're definitely gonna become more social anyways because you're happier. And obviously, happy people love to, you know, you love to meet people. You're not shy anymore. You're not nervous. You know, all those good things or all those bad things kind of start to leave you, and you start to reinforce yourself. So, definitely good for your social skills and your social atmosphere. Number 6, prevents disease and mental disease too. So, a lot of people just think about disease as being a physical disease. You know, whether it's coronary heart disease, or, you know, fucking cancer, or arthritis, or multiple sclerosis, MS. But it's so good for preventing disease. So what is disease? Obviously, it's dis-ease. So your body's not at ease. So we know that exercise can ward off, you know, every disease from A to Z. Every mental disease can be controlled, improved, and almost destroyed, I think, for the most part, with exercise. So you're not going to only live longer, you're going to live happier, you're going to live more of an enriched life. You'll have more energy. That's simple, man. So, I mean, make exercise a daily practice and reap the benefits. Everyone knows what's up. And you guys, if you don't know, now you know, nigga. All right, number 7. You become more attracted to the opposite sex. So who doesn't like sex, man? Sex is one of the greatest things on earth, right? And if we don't feel good about ourselves, we don't have those confident qualities about ourselves to attract members of the opposite sex. So, speaking firsthand, I realized that when I became, you know, stronger and, you know, more symmetrical, and my confidence improved, you know, my sex life actually increased. So I mean, that's nothing that's, you know, a surprise. When you see a woman, you know, with very toned, she's like, it depends what you like for sure, but I mean, generally men like women with, you know, bigger breasts, or I mean, tighter hips. Again, it depends, but I mean, women who look good, who have a nice body, we're attracted to. That's just biology. That's just the universe or our environment, nature telling us, you know, this is our ideal mate, because they have the genetics that we feel like our children should have. So again, with men, so men like women who, you know, look a certain way for the most part. Again, there's some guys out there who love the big mamas. You know, you can't hate on those dudes. Or some guys out there who like, you know, there's anything. But let's talk about women. I think for the most part, women do like guys who take care of themselves. It shows a self-respect for themselves. I really didn't need to say themselves there, but it shows self-respect. It shows confidence in themselves. That it shows that they're willing to put in the work to make their lives easier and better. And I mean, what kind of girl does not like a guy who's not? I mean, you don't have to be ripped up Rambo or like bodybuilder Ronnie Coleman. Just a fit dude who's lean, strong, and has muscle definition. That's a turn off for a lot of girls, and it improves your sex life as well. I mean, a lot of dudes have ED, man, erectile difficulties from fucking just acting a fool and not taking care of themselves. When they get to 50 or 60, they got to start popping Viagra and they can't get their dicks hard. So, I mean, that sucks. I would never imagine that happening, bro. But, if you don't take care of yourself now, later on in life, you're fucked. And your life's just going to be hard. So, I mean, no pun intended. Your life's going to be hard, but your dick's not going to be hard. So, definitely improves your attraction to the opposite sex. So, let's talk about number 8. Stronger heart and lungs. So obviously, some of the two most important organs in our bodies, man, our respiratory system, our cardiovascular system. They control everything. They're literally the battery-powered packs of our body. You can live without your brain, but you can't live without your heart. So you can be a vegetable, your heart's still pumping, you're still alive, but without your heart pumping, there's no energy. You're done. So a strong heart, what does that mean? It means lower resting heart rate. You're more calm. Your heart does not have to work as hard when you're doing simple tasks, walking upstairs, catching a bus, running, working out, exercising. When you're in an anxious situation, your heart won't race as fast. What does increased lungs feel like? Well, I mean, smokers, if you guys have ever taken a good 3 or 4 months from smoking, which I know is hard as fuck, but I mean, you can do it for sure. If you take a good break from smoking, you feel so much clearer. You feel like, wow, this is how I used to feel. Why did I start smoking? You feel cleaner air. Your lungs are stronger. You don't have to take, as many breaths when you execute, physical, feats or physical fucking tasks. Like when you run, you're not fucking dying of breath. You don't have that nasty fucking cough. You don't smell like shit. Well, I mean, that's a direct relationship to cigarette. Sorry, but with lungs, yeah, with stronger lungs, you feel better. You have stronger energy output. Your air is typically, there's more oxygen in your blood, so everything is just firing a lot easier. Your body's not under as much stress. It does not have to work as hard. Okay, so let's talk about number 9. You can eat more. A lot of people don't understand this. You can actually, if you're fit and healthy and working out a lot more, like, I can eat like a motherfucker, and I really, unless I'm really gearing up for like something serious, like competition-wise or whatever I'm doing, my diet's great, but I can have a weekend where I just eat. Like this weekend, I drank both nights. I ate a shitload of fast food. I barbecued a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have ate, but you can eat more calories and maintain the same weight and the same fitness levels. So, I mean, of course, we have to keep our nutrition in check, but everything in moderation. You do not have to eat like a serious bodybuilder for the rest of your life to obtain and maintain your physique. You can actually have cheat days. You can have what I do is I eat really clean throughout the week, and on the weekend I go nuts, man. Like people who know me, I can eat a shitload, bro, and I'm still ripped up and I still feel great. So you can eat more. Why? Because our bodies don't have to work as hard to not only metabolize our food, but since we are more lean, since we have more muscle mass, our body's actually burning more calories at a rest. So our metabolism is stronger and quicker right off the bat. So you work out, you get to eat more. I mean, not all the time, but I mean, you do get to eat more at certain times. So great for the holidays, right? How would you feel if you were fucking, for this Christmas, you didn't have to worry, or Thanksgiving, you didn't have to worry about, if I eat too much, how am I going to look? I just go nuts, bro. Where I'm eating, I just go nuts. Like, it doesn't affect my mental state at all. I can eat whatever I want for the most part. So number 10, improve all performance, man. So physical performance, mental performance, sports life, regular life, whatever you're performing at, whatever your job is. If you're a real estate agent, a doctor, a construction worker, a tradesman, a plumber, a teacher, a personal trainer. There's so many careers out there that everything is reliant on physical ability for the most part. Even sitting at your desk, working at your fucking computer in a cubicle. If you're stressed out and tight, and your muscles are tight, and your bones ache, and you have arthritis, and you're just lazy, your days are going to suck, man. There's no getting around that. Everything, I think, it's true. Everything is affected by how we feel. If you're feeling better if you look better and feel better, and you're not as stressed, you don't feel as bad, you're going to have more fun regardless at work. You're going to feel better, you're going to be able to get more done. So definitely everything you do will be improved, bar none. And if you don't believe me, just try it, man. Take my fucking Timbo challenge and work out for a month, because that's probably that's the minimal amount of time we need to really start seeing some results. Work out for 4 weeks straight, 3 times a week, 30 minutes at a time, and tell me you don't fucking feel better in every aspect of your life. Guarantee you will. So those are some of my top 10 tips, or top 10 fitness facts that I found on some websites. I think that was webmd.com, so obviously they're a really big website. They know their shit. Okay, so those are some of my tips. I'm going to end this podcast right now, the Bodcast, bruh. The Bodcast, got to get that name down straight. So you can contact me on Facebook. My name is Timothy Jordan Oliver, 3 first names. It's kind of whack, I know, but my parents, I guess my mom tried to fuck me up with that. So you can find me on Facebook for sure. Find me on Twitter, Lifting with Tim. Find me on LinkedIn again. Just type my name in, and we can definitely network. And to whoever wants to be on this podcast, I'm actually in my truck right now, but I'm setting this shit up in my house. I got a mic. I'm grabbing a laptop, grabbing a sound card. It's gonna be legit. I'm serious about this. This is really important for a lot of us, man. It's a great way to network, not only for your business and talk about why your business is great, but as a chance to talk about health in general and about fitness and about life in general. You know, what makes you happy, what you like about what's happening on Earth right now, what you don't like. So it's really podcasts are raising consciousness, man. It's true. We live in tough times, but we also live in it's the best time. You know, the yin and the yang. Things are bad, but things are amazing right now. So let's take advantage of being young entrepreneurs and people who care about, you know, ourselves, our neighbors, our families, everyone. You know, let's take advantage of really being the best we can be, and let's network. Let's have podcasts together. So you guys, whoever's really interested in coming on the Bodcast, and dropping some information and you know, dropping some knowledge on people and talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. But you know, let's keep it with respects to our business and our goals and all that good stuff. Holler at me, man. So this is Timbo. I'm signing off, and next week will be our next podcast. Our next podcast will be episode 2 next Sunday. So. It's gonna get better from here, folks. I know this is not that great, but I mean, it can only get better from here, bro. It's like a snowball going down the motherfucking mountain. It's gonna get bigger, stronger, and stay classy, San Diego. Warrior boys all day. See ya.